This piece of paper looks different. Well, little behind the scenes here. I just spilled a drink all over the table shortly after I cut off the last clip. So, yes, new sheet of paper. Where we just talked about the law of the excluded middle. Now, the law of the excluded middle is what's called an axiom in the logic. An axiom is a tautology, but it's actually different from a theorem. Or rather, you could say it's a theorem, but it's a special kind of theorem. An axiom is a fundamental assumption of the logic itself that is actually definitive of the logic. It is part of the definition of every the axioms of a logic are an essential part of the logic. Certain rules for transition are too, but the axioms are those built-in assumptions that the basic rules for transition operate on to generate other tautologies, and which also structure the system for all the other kinds of formulae outside of the theorems that you can plug in as well. So I just said that, by the way, the law of the excluded middle goes by the acronym LEM. There is another axiom, the other fundamental law I was talking about, it goes by LNC. More on that later. But LEM is true in PL. Something that's an axiom is something you are free to put on any tree, because it will never take you from a truth to a falsity, because it's always true. It's one of the fundamental assumptions of the system that A or not A is always true, so you can never go wrong putting it anywhere in any of your trees, including at the top. So that's what I'm going to do. Now you might be like, why? A lot of the time, there's no point. Here there's a point though, because what do you do with ors? You branch. On the one hand, one way for this to be true is for A to be true. The other way for it to be true is for not A to be true. And so those are the two ways any world could be with respect to A. There's the whole space of possibilities. So what do you do here? Well, here's what you do. We got this. A or B. We got over here on this possibility, not A or B. These are disjunctions, and of course, because this means at least one, whenever you got A or whatever. Whenever you got not A or whatever. And this whole thing, too, note, is a disjunction. And this is one of the disjuncts, and this is the other of the disjuncts. So you can just add the missing disjunct in the final formula to the one you have on each side. So in this case, we have A or B. We're missing not A or B, but by disjunction introduction, technical name. Do I have green? I should probably properly use green in one of the... Or I'm going to spill more drinks over here. No, I'm not. Okay. Check! In green! The color of go, color of good. Okay. I'm just going to do something exactly parallel here. I have this disjunct, so I'll add the other one. You want to actually do it, Dirk? Okay, so... That conclusion is achieved on every open possibility. What are the two possibilities open? Either A is true or A is false. And those are, for any possibilities, the two possibilities. This covers all possibilities. This is true on every possibility. So, with disjunctions, some disjunctions anyway, you can start with lem and demonstrate. Well, you can always start with lem, I should say. And with certain formulae, you can just prove that whatever you're going for as a tautology by deriving it from lem and whatever is available to you regarding the meaning of or the meaning of any of the connectives. Also, you could build conditionals off of this too. But basically, if you prove whatever it is you're trying to prove on both of the disjuncts of lem, you have demonstrated that it is true regardless, true in all cases.